What if your house, your safe haven, held a dark and terrifying secret? A secret so chilling that it would make you question the very fabric of reality and the safety of your own home. For 12 years, I lived in an old vintage house atop a lonely hill. It was a place that seemed to be frozen in time, with its creaky wooden floors and antique furniture. The house had a character of its own, almost as if it were alive, watching us and waiting, a place we called home. It was more than just a structure, it was a repository of our memories, our laughter and our tears. The walls echoed with the sounds of our lives, and the rooms were filled with the warmth of our family. We had a maid who visited once a month, a sweet lady with a warm smile. She was like a part of our family, always bringing a sense of comfort and familiarity. Her presence was a reassuring constant in our lives, so imagine our confusion when she suddenly quit. It was out of the blue, with no prior warning. We were left bewildered and concerned, wondering what could have prompted such an abrupt decision. We begged her to tell us why, and finally she confessed. Her voice trembled as she recounted her experience, her eyes wide with fear. She had seen something that defied explanation, something that had shaken her to her core. She had seen a girl in a white dress with long black hair covering her face while cleaning. The description was hauntingly vivid, and it sent chills down our spines. This was not a figment of her imagination, it was something real, something terrifying. But none of us fit that description. We were all accounted for, and there was no logical explanation for what she had seen. It was a mystery that left us all feeling uneasy and unsettled. We were all away that day. The house had been empty, devoid of any human presence. The thought of an unknown entity roaming our home was deeply disturbing. That night I felt a bone-chilling cold in my bed. It was an unnatural cold, one that seemed to seep into my very bones. I could feel an eerie presence in the room, watching me, waiting for me to fall asleep. Hugging my pillow tight, I prayed for warmth. I tried to convince myself that it was just my imagination, but the fear was too real, too palpable. But when morning came, I found a long, black lock of hair in my bed. It was unmistakable, and it sent a wave of terror through me. This was no ordinary hair, it was a sign, a message from the unknown. The pillow? It was on the opposite side of the room. It was as if someone or something had moved it while I slept, a chilling reminder that I was not alone. I thought my siblings were pranking me, but they swore they weren't even home. Their denial was sincere, and it only added to the growing sense of dread. They had been at a sleepover the whole time. There was no way they could have been responsible for what had happened. The realization that something supernatural was at play was both terrifying and bewildering. From that moment, no one dared sleep over at our house. The fear had spread, and our home had become a place of dread and unease. The once warm and inviting atmosphere had been replaced by a cold, oppressive presence. They all saw the same girl, the girl our maid described. It was as if she was trying to communicate with us, to tell us something important. But her presence was too frightening, too overwhelming for us to understand. I kept finding strands of hair in my bed night after night. It was a constant reminder of the haunting, a sign that the entity was still with us, watching and waiting. Eventually, I slept in my parents' room out of sheer terror. The fear had become too much to bear, and I needed the comfort and safety of my family to get through the night. We moved out, but the story didn't end there. The haunting had left a lasting impact on us, and the memories of that time continued to haunt us long after we had left the house. I later discovered that a serial killer once lived in our house. His victims, little girls. The revelation was both shocking and horrifying, and it explained the presence of the ghostly girl. This chilling secret still haunts me to this day. The memories of that time are etched into my mind, a constant reminder of the darkness that once lurked in our home. The house may be empty now, but its haunting legacy lives on. As I look back at old photographs of the house, I can't help but feel a sense of nostalgia mixed with fear. The house that once held so many happy memories is now a symbol of terror and mystery. We often share stories of our experiences, each one more chilling than the last. The haunting has become a part of our family's history, a dark chapter that we can never forget. In an attempt to understand what happened, I delved into the history of the house. I uncovered more dark secrets, stories of previous owners who had also experienced strange and terrifying events. I found old diary entries and handwritten notes that spoke of the haunting. Each account was eerily similar, describing the same ghostly girl and the same bone-chilling cold. We visited the old house once more, standing outside and looking at the place that had once been our home. The house seemed to stare back at us, its windows like eyes, watching and waiting. As we stood there, an eerie melody seemed to fill the air, a haunting tune that sent shivers down our spines. It was as if the house was trying to communicate with us, to tell us its story. We walked away, leaving the house and its dark past behind. But the memories of the haunting will always be with us, a reminder of the time when our safe haven became a place of terror. The house still stands, a silent sentinel on the lonely hill. At night, it seems to glow with an eerie light, as if the spirits within are still restless, still searching for peace. I continue to document my experiences, writing them down in the hopes of finding some sense of closure. The haunting has become a part of my life, a story that I feel compelled to share. The old house in the fog, with its mysterious and eerie atmosphere, is a place that will forever be etched in my memory. It is a reminder of the thin veil between our world and the unknown. As we look at old photographs and reminisce about the past, we can't help but feel a sense of gratitude for having survived the haunting. It has brought us closer together, and we have learned to appreciate the safety and warmth of our new home. A new family has moved into the old house, unaware of its dark past. I can only hope that they never experienced the terror that we did, and that the spirits within have finally found peace. I light a candle and say a prayer for the souls that still linger in the house. May they find the peace they seek, and may the haunting finally come to an end. As dawn breaks, the house looks peaceful and serene, a stark contrast to the terror it once held. It is a new day, and with it comes the hope of a brighter future, free from the shadows of the past. Our family is together, smiling and happy, having overcome the haunting. We have emerged stronger and more united, ready to face whatever challenges the future may hold. The haunting of our vintage hill house is a story that will stay with us forever. It is a reminder of the unknown forces that exist in our world, and the strength of the human spirit to overcome even the darkest of times.